sit?
Over here.
Tell me where to stand.
Right over here, sir.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Can you come over here? In the hole, right by the hole.
I'm fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
The sun's bad.
Yeah, the sun's bad.
Like we're like this way then?
No, we want you more like that.
Like that. Yep, you do what you have to.
No, but
This is all we can do.
I'm so sorry, Lindsay's just making her way over right now. She's
Okay, Facebook Live. 1 moment from an update here with Tampa Police Chief. So we're just standing by for another TV station's photographer, and then we will be ready to roll here to get an update on kids hit here in Tampa at Bougainvillea and Marvin. Again, this is Tampa Police Chief Brian Dugan. You all good?
in there.
Here, Liz. Look at Okay.
Morning, everyone. It was about 8 o'clock this morning when the children were waiting to go to school. All the children this morning go to Woodson K through 8. We had a vehicle that was eastbound on Bougainvillea from Nebraska at a high rate of speed. This car ended up striking several of the children and 2 adults as they waited for the bus to go to school this morning. We've had 5 people transported to the hospital. 1 of them is critical. We have 3 children and 2 adults that went to the hospital of those 5, and 1 of the children is still in critical condition. At this moment, we have detained the driver of the car. There's a lot of moving parts. This is still early in the investigation. You can just imagine the mayhem that it was, for the first responders when they showed up to have several children to be struck at a bus stop. So we are just piecing everything together, and there's a lot of moving parts, and we expect some of the details to change as we continue our investigation.
What more can you tell us about the driver? You said a high rate of speed, but was it erratic? Anyone call 911 beforehand? Does the person appear to be intoxicated or just in a rush?
It's just so early. We don't know enough. The kids were at the bus stop. There's no indication that we're piecing everything together. Right now, we're trying to figure out what his mindset was. We don't know if he was intoxicated. We don't know if it was just truly an accident. We do have his car, and we do have him here detained at the scene right now, trying to piece the whole thing together.
Is he being cooperative?
So far, yes.
Yeah.
What about the children's families? Have they all been notified?
Yes, at this point we believe that all their parents or guardian have been notified, but we are still trying to verify that at the hospital right now. When things happen this quickly and you're dealing with young children, it's more about getting care and getting them off to the hospital than it was about. And so now we're trying to backtrack and piece things together and making sure that their parents or guardian has been notified. That is right now our first priority, and then we're going to piece the whole investigation together.
With the parents, I assume, were waiting with the kids for the bus to arrive. That's why they were out here at the scene.
Yes, there were parents with the kids. We're estimating these kids are anywhere from 6 to 12 years old because it is a K through 8 school. So we're still piecing all this together. Like I said, as a parent, the first thing I'm trying to do is make sure we're notifying their parents or their guardian, and then we're going to piece the whole thing together.
You said that driver, obviously, you have him in custody, but he did stop.
Yes, we have him detained, and we're still determining whether he stopped or whether he knew what was doing, and there's just so many moving parts right now. But the first part was the safety of the children and the adults. Now we're going to get the investigation rolling to find out exactly what happened.
And not to be too morbid, but when first responders got here, what kind of scene was it? What was it like? Were the kids in really bad shape at that point?
Yeah, I mean, you can see, if you look at the crime scene, you can see some shoes scattered and, backpacks and everything. You look at these kids last night, 12 hours ago, they were trick-or-treating. Now they're on their way to the hospital. That's how quickly life can change for them.
Chief Dugan, can you give us another rundown of the basic information of what happened here?
Well, we had a car going eastbound from Nebraska on Bougainvillea. Kids were this morning, about 8 o'clock this morning. They were at the bus stop, and this car, we don't know if it lost control, if it did it on purpose, whatever, but it ran several of the children over. We have 5 people at the hospital. 3 of them are children, 2 are adults, and 1 of the children is in critical condition at this point.
Is he fleeing that scene in Nebraska? Do you think it's related?
What that is, and we have the Fire Chief Nicholas Cicero here, that was first responders coming to the scene. Nick, would you like to discuss any of that?
Yes, the scenes of this nature that the chief was describing are very, very chaotic, very dynamic, and requires a lot of resources. The scene at Nebraska up the street had to do with a resource unit that was coming to assist the main scene here. They were navigating through traffic, and there was an accident at the intersection. The accident pushed the rescue unit into a concrete traffic pole, and unfortunately one of the firefighters in the unit was rendered unconscious for a small period of time. All 3 parties that were involved, the driver of the vehicle that struck the rescue and the 2 persons in the rescue, were transported as a precautionary measure to the various hospitals, and we feel like they'll be fine in all aspects. There's an overabundance of caution. So that has been handled. The traffic issue has been handled by PD, and they've instituted that, and we're cooperating in every way with that.
So the wreck happened as your crew was making its way through the intersection with its vehicle?
Yes, correct.
Okay,
yes.
so maybe somebody didn't yield?
And that will be determined, yes. It is, Nebraska's heavy with traffic, and they were navigating through traffic at that point.
How many transports did you have to transport all the students, not only the students, but the parents?
From this scene here, I think the chief recounted. We had tabulated.
We had 3 children and 2 adults.
Yeah, we had 5 total.
Right here.
5 total.
So how many ambulances? About 2 or 3 ambulances you had to dispatch to transport them?
We as far as the dispatch, we probably had more coming, and we pulled it off as a minimum of that because that's what we transported. But we also had more coming because we had the issue up the street. Again, it's a dynamic scene, and you need to make sure that you have the resources available.
I feel like this is a good time to remind people, especially during bus stop times, to drive slowly, carefully, and look where you're going.
Yeah, you know, it's school time, and this weekend we're going to have a time change, and so we need to keep these things in mind. You know, this time of the day, whether it's early in the morning, in the afternoon, kids are going to and from school, to and from the bus stop, and we need to be careful. We need to pay attention to what we're doing out there.
So charges pending?
Well, you know, we have a lot more answers that we need, and so it's still under investigation. We will be providing an update later this afternoon as we know more. It's going to unfold, and as usual, these things are subject to change as our investigation continues.
And what goes through your mind when you get a call like this and you know that kids are involved, and it's a residential road, so clearly if people were driving the speed limit, it probably could have been prevented?
You know, that's tough to call, but you know, the first thing you think of is the kids.
Yeah.
The second thing you think of is the parents. And, you know, how would you put yourself in the shoes of these parents? Maybe they were on their way to work.
Yeah.
Maybe they just dropped their kid off and they're relying on someone else to watch their kid. And so that creates a lot of anxiety. I feel for, you know, the parents whose kids weren't involved in this. There's probably some anxiety for the parents whose kids are in school right now, and they're wondering whether their kid was involved in that.
Thank you.
Did he stop on his own?
I don't know. All right.
Thank you both for your
Thank you.
time. Thank you. Take care.